Hi, you guys. Welcome back to an all new episode of Black Girl Can't Cook. Today, I am joined by a writer, an actress, a director, an artist, Maggie Dickinson.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here.
Golf clap, golf clap. Maggie, hi, how are you?
I am really good. How are you?
You're good. You guys, our Zoom right now, it's like just glowing. I don't know if it's the full moon energy, but we got like an awesome glow going back and forth.
We really do. We're looking good.
Looking good. I'm doing great as well. I like to start this off with everyone. Maggie, how did we meet?
We met working at Starbucks.
Working at Starbucks.
Yes. North 7, Williamsburg. um, it was right when I had moved to New York and I was working at this Starbucks and I was not used to the commute, right? Because when I was working at Starbucks in Wisconsin, it was like a 5-minute drive to do the 5 a.m. shift.
Nothing.
I didn't have to get up at 3:30 for an 45-minute commute. So I was late constant. Like for my first 2 weeks, I just couldn't figure it out. I remember so many people were like, "You're going to get fired. You better watch out." But you were like, "It's okay. You'll figure it out. It's going to be fine."
Wait, and are you born and raised in Wisconsin?
I was born near Seattle in Tacoma, Washington. And then it's about 10 years in Washington, 10 years in Wisconsin.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's so crazy because growing up in Arizona and starting Starbucks in Arizona, you could drive and open at 5 a.m. Nothing. But you guys in New York City, commuting, the train, the bus, and then mind you, if you're working an opening shift at 4 a.m. or something, oh my gosh.
Impossible, especially because the bus would only come maybe once an hour. So you would show up to work like 30 minutes early, but it's either 30 minutes early or 30 minutes late.
No in between. And shout out North 7. That I'm happy to have ended my Starbucks on that note, on that page. Like,
yes,
the group that we had and the people, the way it ended, unfortunate, but I feel so grateful that like that was I knew it was like, this is it. And Maggie, you were so inspiring. You were like, I don't stay at a job longer than a year. Like, y'all, I swear, I was just like, who is this girl? She's like, nope, you just like, and I was just so inspired by your hustle and drive. And I'm like, well, I've been here 8 years. So
yes, for my survival jobs, no more than a year. There's no sense in it to me.
There's not. And especially you guys, I feel like young adults, like we just like let our mental health kind of go. And it's because we're in school, we're doing stuff. And I love that. No, if you're in service, retail, do it for a year and then pick up and go. Like that's kind of the beauty of it too. You get a like it's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I feel like a year is the perfect amount because you're new, you figure it out, you make friends, and then all of a sudden you notice the toxic energy and you peace out.
Ding, 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 ding. That's it. And then there you get your recommendation, your thing, and the next employer, oh, a year, she's valid, stable. No, I think it's genius.
Thank you.
And I remember being in North 7 and me and Maggie didn't become friends for like a minute because I was a transfer, but you guys, her style is so like eclectic, but like all American girl. And then I think we hit it off and we both were like, do you watch The Bachelor? And then
my God, yes. Yes.
That is when the floodgates opened. And we just, I don't know, we were talking about whatever current season and we just bonded. And then we had like a really great girls' day out in like Williamsburg. I don't know if you remember, we like walked here, we got tacos. And I was just so, Maggie, you're just so quiet at work, but I was so happy to get to know you and you're just so insightful. And then too, you guys, I found out she's like an artist. She like loves film, cinema. She writes her own stuff, puts on production. I'm like, this is a bad bitch. I'm like this, like, I was just so like, so cool to like get to know you because it happens so slow at an organic process, you know?
Absolutely. It's hard to get to know someone at a Starbucks. It's so busy. It's hard to really form a friendship, but I'm so glad that we did because I mean, I love you. You're so much fun. You're so honest and down to earth. And
I feel like it might be like a small town girl sort of thing. Like we just really connected on like a very like on a like just an authentic, immediate level. And you guys living in New York, it's fun and great, but those relationships or friendships are so hard, or it takes time to like cultivate and find.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's hard to find someone who understands sort of your soul, who understands who you are deep down without all of the BS.
BS. And on the last note, ending Starbucks, we had one iconic day with a partner there, Brooke, and one of our managers. You guys, it was like 7 a.m. before the mid rush, and we were drinking lime-a-ritas on the floor.
Yes, we were. I specifically remember I got the strawberry one, strawberryta.
Strawberry.
And it looked just like a strawberry refresher. So I was literally drinking it on the floor. You guys, I don't encourage this, but it was the best shift of my life.
You guys, it was the best shift. And I remember I had like the coconut, Brooke might have had orange, and our shift leader, God bless John. Oh my, it was just the most, I could not believe it, but it was just so much fun. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you work at Starbucks. There you have it. So Maggie, this podcast is just about body image, cooking, and self-love. I want to know what's your relationship like with your body? A year into the pandemic, how are you really feeling? And
yeah, no, that's a great question. I think it's constantly a journey for me. I'm a really big advocate for body neutrality, which is like the respect for your body and thankful for what it can do for you. But it is hard for me to constantly push like the body love, like the self-image love, especially going through my teens and then my 20s and now a pandemic. It's hard to constantly see how my body is changing and to constantly love all of the ups and downs. So for me, I'm just really working on being thankful for everything that my body can do and respecting it for where it is.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And too, as women, I don't think we talk about that. It's challenging with all like the society program, just how we grow up to like see your body like change before your eyes, or even like in a day and age of like Facebook and like remember and throwback pictures. It's just really kind of shocking. It can be shocking just to see how much you've changed.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my body doesn't look like it did when I was 20. I mean, at all. Your body's constantly growing.
And two, I think there's such beauty. I love what you said, just to be thankful. Like, I think that's where you can just start. Even like if you don't like that certain part of your body or you're having insecurities, we all have them. I have them every day. Just to still at least like end on a thankfulness.
Yes.
Especially in like the last year, global pandemic. So that's so good that you're able to do that.
Thank you. Thanks.
What's something like when you were growing up, did you struggle with any body image issues? Was there any messages you got that were like harmful, and how were you able to like come out of it?
Sure. I've definitely always been self-conscious about my body. I used to, when I was really little, every time I ate food, my stomach would like balloon out. And I'm assuming it has to do with like an allergy. Like now I know I'm allergic to dairy, but nobody knew when I was 5.
Of course.
So I was always a little self-conscious of my body. And then I remember in 3rd grade, 9 years old, a kid told me I looked like I was pregnant. And so I think I've always just been like, why don't my jeans fit me like normal people? Why am I always like a little bit chubbier than all of my friends? It's just like this constant figuring it out, especially when I was younger, and all 13-year-olds are twigs. And
all of them oh my goodness. When I go back and look at my pictures, I'm just like the one token Black girl, and all my little white friends are just
they're pencils. Everyone's a pencil. And I was a pencil with like a little tiny stomach. And it's like, why is this me?
Yeah. And it can just, I mean, as girls, like we just see everything. And when you see it in your peers, I can absolutely relate to you. I'd question myself. I'd be like, well, Mom, why the fuck am I already tall? And no, why do I have like a little pudge already? And they're all like flat washed. It was just very confusing. Like I didn't understand.
Yeah. It's impossible too, because my God, the only thing that you're watching when you're 9-10 years old is Disney Channel. And every single person is a really tiny white girl with no boobs. And so
boobs. I remember when I went to Limited too, and like I couldn't even do the training bra because I was so overdeveloped. And I'm like, well, what? Like I can't. It's crazy, and I love that. Like that's what we were watching. That's what we were consuming. Lizzie McGuire. It just, yeah, nothing was reflected. So absolutely, as women, I feel like so many of you can relate. Like we didn't see ourselves, so then that self critique was just even more inflamed, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, how are you supposed to know it's okay if you don't see it in your media?
Plain, plain and like what? Plain and simple. What do you love most about your body right now? There's something that just every day you like, what do you love about your body? Do you love dressing it? What's something
Yeah.
that just gives you joy?
I think I I just love what it can do for me. I love waking up and putting on my clothes and knowing that I can kind of do anything because of my body. I can eat whatever. I'm lucky enough to kind of be able to eat whatever I want
Mhm.
and go for a walk to the coffee shop, to go for a run, to go for a hike. Um, yeah, I'm just like really, my body has been bringing me a lot of joy, even if every day I don't love the way I look.
Mhm.
It's been, yeah, I've been really just grateful, I guess, for
That's
what my body can
wonderful.
do. Yeah.
Growing up, do you have any sisters at all?
No, no sisters, just a brother.
Just a brother. So what's or some of the things that your mother taught you or messages that she taught you about your body, self-love, anything that you've carried today?
Yeah, I think um I don't think my mom was taught a lot about self-love. And I
Mhm.
think that we kind of teach what we know for the most part.
Yes.
And it was a different time. I mean, she grew up in rural Wisconsin
Mhm.
in the 80s. I don't think anybody was talking about self-love then. So it was a lot more of healthy versus unhealthy
Mhm.
foods, making sure you exercise to take care of your body.
Yeah.
And she's a nurse, so she taught me a lot about what my body is capable of doing and like the changes that I am going through, which I would say was really helpful because puberty is awful. And having someone to guide you through it even more was good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's so good. And two, I love that you bring that up. And that's one of my favorite questions to ask because I feel like even like non-verbally, we've just learned from our mothers and
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, I have older parents. Our parents grew up in a totally different generation.
Mm-hmm.
And then what their parents taught them. So it's like it's just kind of mind-boggling. And yeah, with healing my relationship with my parents, I have like no ill will. Like they taught me what they knew. And I'm so grateful too, because some kids or some women don't even get like the simple of that, you know? And I love what you
Yeah,
said. Puberty is a bitch and puberty is so hard.
it's awful. Absolutely awful. It's just an emotional smelly mess.
Just a smelly mess. And then to be as girls, as women, I've always been a girl's girl. I don't know about you, but to then grow up with your peers and just no one is alike. Everyone's body is different. And
Mm-hmm.
just for it to happen at a rapid stage or for it not to happen, it just like is like it was such a mind fuck to grow up in, and
Oh yeah,
it's just kind of crazy.
it is. And I mean, middle school's just a mess. I kudos to everyone going through it. Kudos to us for getting through it.
Right? Yes, exactly. What's your relationship like with food? Do you like love to eat? Is there
Yes.
what has love it.
um, I love food. I have always loved food. I love it so much. I work to only think about what is this food going to provide for my body is sort of how
Mhm.
I try to have a relationship with food, um, and not just stick with like healthy versus unhealthy. It's very important for me to not restrict what I eat.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean like eat an entire box of Oreos, but like if I really want to eat Oreos, then that's what I'm going to eat in that moment. You
Mhm.
know, I think if we spend so much time just restricting what we eat, and I know this is for me personally, then that's all I think about. Like my brain is just consumed with what I can and cannot eat instead of having a few Oreos and then moving on and making myself a good dinner later.
Yeah. 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 And I don't know about you, but for me, it's about control. And it can feel like
Yes.
it control, like that's always the factor. So I love that you said no restrictions. Like, yeah, I don't want to overindulge or binge, but I want to listen to my body and not restrict because it's such a fine line. It's such a fine
Yeah.
line and like a slippery slope with yourself.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And it is. Every person is different. Every person has a different brain. It works differently for them. But for
Mhm.
me, like if I put so much restriction and control on what I am told I am supposed to eat or not supposed to eat,
Mhm.
it's just like unhealthy for me. I feel bad when I eat it, and I don't want to feel guilty
Yeah.
for eating a few sweets or for having a snack. But yeah, it's a balance of allowing yourself and not overindulging.
I love that. I love that. And no restrictions. I mean, I feel like once you just honor like yourself, and again, everyone's different. I have like an addictive personality. And so, yeah, it becomes like a control thing of this and that. And once you know yourself, I think you can just kind of let yourself be at peace because food's here to like nourish us and to
Yes.
celebrate. I living in New York, Maggie knows too. I love how like food brings us together. It's like, yeah, let's go to a cafe. Let's do this. Like food has a way of just enriching everyone's life. So
Absolutely.
finding like no restriction and no kind of ill malice behavior like just will bring so much joy to everyone. But it's hard to get there. It's definitely
It
hard to get
is.
there.
Absolutely. And I'm not good at it every day. It's every day is something new, but it's just something that I've really been trying to do.
I love that. Yeah, I'm really trying to have some self-compassion. It's like beginning of the new year, but self-compassion around my period during what I eat because it's
Yes.
just I will just dive off the deep end and like just for like a day, not even a day, an hour or so. And like I let that happen. But then like I rest. I like drink water and I'm like, okay, what do I need though? Cause it's like the period fog. Like, is it just me being like
Yes.
sad and scared? Or do I really want 10 cupcakes? No, I just want grilled chicken and like maybe to cry later and I'll feel better. Like just
Yes.
reevaluating and a lot of you guys, just self-compassion. I feel like women are just all people. We need to have like more self-love and compassion for ourselves because we're only human. And I love what you said. Every day is like not every day is the same. Like tomorrow's a new day, new challenges, and we'll just see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was wondering, what does self-love mean to you?
Yeah, that is a great question. I think it's really difficult to fully answer, but for me, I I am so I've said before so grateful for my body and I'm grateful for my mind and my heart, and I think every day I love something different about myself. Today I woke up and my hair looked great. And I was like, I love my hair. I love it so much. I'm so thankful that I have a nice, healthy head of hair. Like,
Yeah.
good for me. Like, that's awesome. And then I just hope that tomorrow I find something new to be super grateful for, whether it's like, I love that I pass 3 coffee shops on my way to work. Like, good for me. I can stop anywhere and get coffee. Whatever it is, I think it is very hard to fully define self-love. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to find what self-love is to them. But for me, it's a day by day finding something new about myself, finding something I can appreciate or love about. Maybe it's my body or maybe it's my personality, like whatever it is, or the work that I do.
Mhm.
Um, I hope that answers the question.
Yes, no, that's beautiful. That might be one of my favorite answers so far because I think I asked the question because, yeah, and just a society and culture of self love and it being like all branded. And now it's like self love means something different to every single person. Like, I don't think there is like a definition. That's why it's such a fascinating question to get across. And two, I love that you just acknowledge something and you said something new every day. That's impressive because I feel like some of my gratitude lists and stuff will get repetitive and stuff, but the way like I think it enhances resilience in your mind is it's something new every day. And whether
Yes.
it's I love that you said that too. You're like, even if it's my personality, it does not have to always be about the outside looks. To me, this is
Yeah.
just this like means nothing. So it's just like, it's really like the soul's core. So it can be your personality and how you function. And that's incredible, really.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What's your morning breakfast routine like? What do you eat? Are you a breakfast person?
Yes, I think I am like, breakfast is super important. Start your day with breakfast.
Yes, 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 yes.
The people who are like, well, if I don't eat breakfast, it helps my metabolism. Like, don't lie to me.
Don't lie to me. And everyone that's intermittent fasting, that's a whole other different conversation, but it's like, just eat your bread.
Please just eat some breakfast. Like, hey, if you want to, sorry guys, that's my dog.
That's Gully, you guys. It's okay.
You want to limit your food, fine. You can limit how many cookies you eat, but don't limit an entire meal. Do not eliminate breakfast.
Don't do it. It's just not worth it. What do you do for breakfast? What is your morning routine?
I so sorry. I am all about savory over sweet for sure. I pretty much have some form of eggs for breakfast every day.
Maggie, I could eat eggs every single day. No shame.
Yes, I love them so much. I love scrambled eggs, omelet, hard-boiled eggs, whatever. I love them. Okay, I love them so much. And then I usually do a banana, but I try to pair some sort of fruit with it, and coffee all the way.
Ooh, I love it. All my coffee people are still coffee people. And I'm like, I can't. I just can't. That is so funny. Eggs. And I was thinking like, is there something as too much eggs? Because I love them so much. I'll do one in the morning, in the afternoon, like a jam.
Yes.
Eggs are key. And banana. That's great. Potassium. I love a banana in my smoothie. Like every day there's like 8 bananas in.
Yes. Bananas are so good for you. And they're like the perfect level of sweet, right? It's not like too much.
Exactly.
I love them.
Do you have a favorite cocktail or mocktail if you're sober at all?
Aperol spritz.
Okay, what is it? It's just what is
Okay.
what is an Aperol spritz? I see every white girl in New York drinking it, and it's orange and it's pretty.
It's pretty. It's I think they're like very popular in Paris. Maybe I'm just saying that to feel cool, but I feel like they are. Aperol is a type of liquor. I'm not sure what it would be similar to. It's kind of sweet. It's got this orange color, and then you mix it with Prosecco and then like a sparkling water.
Oh my God. That's good.
It's like delectable. It's so good.
And I always see like the girls with the straws and it looks, so it's bubbly because of the Prosecco or the
Yes.
Okay. This is on my summer to-do list. And it's a beautiful drink. Like
it's a beautiful drink. Sometimes people put like orange slices in it. Yes. They've got like the pretty straws. Every time I order it, people always give me like a fancy straw with my Aperol
spritz. I love it. So when you're cooking in the kitchen, or if you don't, when do you feel like most happiest? Do you cook with your partner at all, or what brings you joy in the kitchen?
Yes. I cook with my partner a lot. He's more of a cook than I am.
He won.
He's like, yeah. And like follows recipes, or he just experiments and he like likes to research recipes. I get overwhelmed. There's like 20 websites to look at to search for recipes. Even if you just want to make like chocolate chip cookies, I'm like, which one's the best? I don't know. So getting to cook with him is like a pleasure. It's really great for me. When I cook for myself, it's kind of, I just like throw some spices in and I'm like, let's see what will happen.
I love it. And I agree. As like Black girl can't cook, it's so overwhelming. And my partner will be like, you just have to like do the research. And I'm like, there's no. I have my 5 favorite chef people, and that's who I go to. Like there's so much. And I love what you said too. Spices. You're just in there.
I'm just improvising. It's a mystery.
I love it. At what age did you learn to love your body? And it's totally fine if you're still getting there, if it's a journey, but was there like a moment in your life where you just were enlightened with appreciation and you really accepted the love for your body?
I was definitely in college where I really began to just appreciate my body. And I think it's partially to like get away from the people who had known me for so long, and to finally have more independence. But I think I was dressing myself more how I wanted to be dressing, which does help. It, like, if you are styling yourself the way you want to be, I think it just gives you more confidence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it was like the first time where I really started to enjoy being in my body. Like, I wasn't self-conscious of myself for the first time, I think, in my life.
Oh my God. And it's such a freeing moment because I don't know about you, but I remember being like a young girl and never care, like being in the dirt, playing, living my life,
Yes.
never being aware of my body. And to kind of get back to like that journey or that inner childness, it's so nice. It's just so nice. And I love what you said too, how to dress your body. I think that comes with so much, especially between like your 20s and leaving college. Like you're finding your identity in yourself. And once you feel comfortable, that's kind of a game changer. It just is a game changer.
It is. Once you feel comfortable in what you are wearing, I think you just naturally become more comfortable in your body, or you're not thinking about it as much, at the very least. You know, I don't want to constantly be thinking about my body. Like, I'm so annoyed by it.
That's like, no way. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned from your body, especially in, like the last year of a global pandemic and just
Yeah, I
crazy.
think
Yeah.
the pandemic has been crazy. My body weight has fluctuated so much.
Like us all.
Yes.
It's so, isn't it? It's kind of, I have so much respect. I'm like, you can do a lot. Like,
yes, you can take on a lot. Like, gaining 10 pounds, losing 10 pounds. I'm like, when are you doing this? Because nothing's changing in my habits.
right.
I think, honestly, I think my body has taught me to have a lot of patience with myself, because it is constantly changing. And if I'm not happy with it one day, I might be happy with it the next day, or just knowing that it is like, when I'm on my period, my jeans aren't going to fit, but wait a week and it's going to be fine.
Right. Yes. I love that. And it's like simple little things like that. I feel like to have a body that can change and adapt, like we take that for granted. Like, at least I think so. Like, that's just so powerful. It can change, it can take on. I don't know about you, but last year and the election year, all the stress and just all the roller coasters of just the world. I'm now looking back, I'm like just so impressed that like my body was able to take on. And I love what you said, patience. Like, I think I've learned too how to just slow the fuck down. Like,
yes, absolutely.
I mean, there's so much beauty in just like taking time and being, being in New York and the whole go, go, go. Like, that's also kind of toxic. Like, you should just,
it is.
slowing down and just realizing where you're at, like, can really shift things. And you can like see everything from a different perspective and yourself and your body. And you can have such a more like loving kind of way, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good to just slow down and figure out what your body needs, what it's telling you. And especially in New York, no place is as busy as New York.
No place is as busy. What right now is bringing you joy in your life? Do you have a dog you want to tell us about?
Yes, I have a pandemic puppy. Got him last May.
Oh my God.
Yes. I love him so much. He is a puggle mixed with a mountain cur. So he's just like this little brindle baby. He's very cute, very intuitive. He's bringing me a lot of joy. Just got accepted into grad school.
Oh my goodness. This is huge.
I'm really stoked for that.
Congratulations. As a friend, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. This is so exciting.
So much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited for this next step, this next big thing. And I just started a podcast too. You were inspiring me. My friends were inspiring me. I was like, I need to do one too.
But yeah, this is what I love to hear. You guys, if anything, I want all women to start podcasts. Like, one, this business is booming. Two, women, we have like we have the power. Maggie's a great storyteller, but we have the power to tell stories and literally change lives. And I'm so, yeah, all my friends, I'm inspiring a lot of people, but that's like, that's the goal. Like I'm so, and like ask me if you have any questions, we'll like text and stuff, but that
Yes,
makes me
please.
so happy because the more women there are, like we can all win. Like, we can all win. We can all support each other and there's space for everyone. Like
Oh yeah.
society and like the men mentality, whatever. Like I think had a lot of generations before us women like messed up. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
and just the competitiveness and just even like the culture, even just like watching films in the 90s and early, I'm like, this is not like no wonder like how we grew up and just like the whole Mean Girls and it all makes sense. Of course it
It
makes
really
sense.
does.
It makes sense. Like no shame on anyone because it makes sense. But that's so inspiring. And yes, we need more women in podcasts. What's your podcast going to be?
It's called Novel Finds. It is a book podcast I'm doing with my friend Julia. And we're just going to talk about our favorite books from all topics and genres. Going to bring on some guests. It's going to be a casual, fun time just chatting about books.
Maggie, you are an avid, like you inspire me. Where did your love for reading come from?
Honestly, I have always been reading. I mean, since I could read, I've just always loved it. I think it does come from growing up in the Midwest and wanting to be on adventures and to kind of escape my reality. And reading allowed me to do that. And now I just am obsessed.
That is so beautiful. Was there like a book that you read that changed the way you viewed yourself or the world? Was there something that just a book that like rocked your shit? Like, have you read anything that really just blow you away, perspective wise?
Yes. I will say, as a child, like the first book that changed my worldview as a child, and this is not a joke,
I'm like,
Kit Kittredge, the American Girl, was the first tomboy I ever read about. And I was like, girls can do anything. They can do anything.
okay. I love it. I love it. When we hang up, I'm gonna watch that on Netflix. But for me, it was Pippi Longstocking, which is the same
Yes.
tomboy adventure. It was like girls or it was like girls can just do it. You can do what you want. You can be just as dirty as the
Yes.
boys. You can. I love that. And what about your adolescence? Was there like a book in your 20s or
I
one
would
that?
say most recently,
Mhm.
Untamed. Untamed. Read Untamed.
Oh my. Okay, I need to finish it. It's literally sitting on my floor. Okay, is it?
I mean, like, I think when I was reading it, I reread every chapter because it was just like, there's so much wisdom. There's so much about being a woman in society.
Mhm.
You guys, I don't like a lot of self-help books or even memoirs, but Untamed, I think I have half of it underlined.
Oh,
Like it's just
shout
so
out
good.
Glennon Doyle. We love you. I'm gonna send you. She has a great podcast episode on Goop. You and I it's such an inspiring book. Like her story and just how she breaks down why women are the way we are. Like it's really
Yes.
just it's not our fault, but oh, I love that. Untamed. Okay, I'm gonna finish it now. I've had it for a year since the pandemic started, and I'm like, let me get this book to focus, but I'm gonna read it. That's amazing.
Yes. Tell me what you think. I think you're going to love it. I
That's
do.
that's amazing. What is one thing that you hope to gain this year? It's a new year, the pandemic. I feel like we've all learned so many like beautiful, devastating lessons. What's one thing you really are trying to be intentional? And congratulations on grad school. This is so
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you so much. I think I am trying very hard to be, for lack of a better word, less competitive about my career, allowing myself to be where I am without comparing myself
Mhm.
to other people or even comparing the things that I write. Um, I compare that, like, why aren't I writing things like that? And I'm like, well, that's not my style. Like, I would never write that, but I still get jealous.
Yeah.
So I'm really working to just allow myself to be where I'm at and to enjoy the things that I actually enjoy working on without being jealous or comparing myself.
Oh, that's really powerful. That's so, so powerful. That's just, and I just feel like too, we all can't help but compare, but it's how you like, pull yourself back. I love that. You're like, well, of course, that's not even my tone. I would never write that. So,
Right.
so it's so good you have like the tools to just still step back and like come back down from it because it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
In our like mid 20s, I know it's everyone's path, you guys, is literally different. Like no one's path looks the same. And so just honoring yours and just I think too celebrating friends when you can and know that what's on its way to you is for you,
Yes.
just and there's like joy in that too, especially for me when I get like, all well, this person's got this and they got a show and they got on a network. I'm like, well, that's for them and that's so cool, but what's for me is for me, and I just have to like be patient. And also like I love not knowing, like what a journey and a ride to be on.
Yes. I love knowing that it's an adventure. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know, and I feel like you can like walk blissfully in that, especially like in New York or in anywhere. You just the blessings just come, like stuff just kind of
Yes.
starts to happen without you even forcing, being controlling, like letting go is just like a good way to like get what you want, kind
Absolutely. I completely agree.
of. This was such a great sit down talk, Maggie. Where can everyone follow you? When does your podcast launch?
Our
And
trailer launched today, the
woo!
28th of March. Our first episode will be released on April 11th.
Amazing.
Check it out, you guys.
And where can everyone follow you?
You can follow our podcast at Novel Finds Podcast on Instagram. You can follow me. You can just search my name, Maggie Dickinson. My Instagram handle is very confusing. It's like Maggie in a Midwest accent. So like Maggie.
It's beautiful. Maggie, thank you so much. And what's one thing you want to leave with listeners? You've had such a great like life's journey and now you're going to grad school. What's one thing you'd want to tell maybe like the 22-year-old that's just out of college and is like confused?
I would say do what you want to do, whatever it is. Even if you are confused, there must be something on your heart, in your mind. Follow it.
Mm.
And for me, the biggest thing in my life is not having regrets. Even if it didn't work out, if something seemed like a failed opportunity or a failed relationship, just take what you learned from that and power through, move on. You can do it.
Ah, Maggie, thank you so, so
Thank you.
much. I
Thank
love
you.
you.
I love you too.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.